In late March, 2 families drowned in the St. Lawrence River. They'd come from India and Romania, and they were trying to cross into the United States. Their bodies, including the bodies of 2 young children, were found in Akwesasne Mohawk territory. A Mohawk man who's believed to have been transporting the families by boat is still missing more than 2 months later. David Sommerstein spoke with the editor of Akwesasne's Indian Time newspaper about how the drownings have affected the Akwesasne community. That conversation is coming up on this edition of Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Pearsall Wealth Management at UBS Wealth Management USA, subsidiary UBS AG, member FINRA SIPC, 1 Broad Street, Glens Falls.
Hello, I'm Lucy Grindon, filling in this week for David Sommerstein. It's Monday, June 5th. First, one of the biggest sporting events held in Lake Placid last winter could be returning again next year. According to the Adirondack Daily Enterprise, the Olympic Village has applied to host a ski jumping World Cup event. The World Cup this past February drew more than 8,000 people to Lake Placid, particularly Polish ski jumping fans who came from places like Chicago and Connecticut. The Olympic Regional Development Authority has applied to host the event again next February and is just waiting for final approval. If confirmed, Lake Placid would be the only ski jumping World Cup event in North America next winter. In late March, 2 migrant families, one from India and one from Romania, drowned in the frigid waters of the St. Lawrence River. They were trying to cross into the United States. Their bodies, including those of 2 small children, were found in marshes in Akwesasne Mohawk territory. The tragedy struck the community of Akwesasne particularly hard. One Mohawk man, Casey Oakes, believed to have been transporting the migrants by boat, still hasn't been found. The episode returned Akwesasne to the headlines as a place where smuggling happens. That's a reputation Mohawks have been trying to contextualize for decades. Marjorie Ganyadunge Skidders is the editor for Indian Time newspaper based in Akwesasne. She told David Sommerstein the deaths blindsided people.
I think the first reaction was, is this even true? It was so like a traumatic event. How can this be? I know that once moms and grandmothers and young moms here saw the photo of the Romanian family, that was just almost too much to bear, because it's much like hearing about the Kamloops residential school children that had never returned home. Many of them were lost and never heard of again. It's that type of thing that just grabs you. And 2 young babies drowned. They died in a freezing cold river.
Yeah.
With their parents. And I really believe that it affected everybody here, everyone. Not just young moms and grandmothers, and it affected everyone.
In addition to these families, these migrant families, also a man from Akwesasne was missing as well.
Yes, and that again, being such a small community, that affects everyone as well. If you're not related, then you know who they are. And he had many friends. He had a large family, and it was tragic.
And then there's the issue of, smuggling in Akwesasne of people, of tobacco, of whatever. And, having that in the headlines again, how does that affect the community?
It's almost like working on our image 2.0. because we have worked for years on the image of Akwesasne being the cigarette smuggling capital of North America. And then this happens, and it comes back again to what is the image of Akwesasne.
How do you think, this moment sort of will play out, in the sort of overall context of, sort of smuggling things that happen in Akwesasne?
In two different ways. Like, one is that we're more vocal about it now. We stand up and say this is not entirely representative of Akwesasne or its people here, which is what I think many people thought when all of the smuggling of cigarettes was going on, is that everybody in Akwesasne smuggled cigarettes. Everybody was rich because of that, and that was just entirely untrue. And this time people are saying it was such a horrific event that you need to give Akwesasne time to grieve, to process this, and that this is also not reflective of everyone here. Like, Akwesasne is a vibrant, alive community. We are more ready, I think, to tell people who we are. And it's tragic this happened, and it's still going on. I can't be naive to think that they have stopped smuggling people, but it's not reflective of everything that we are here. We have a lot of things going on. We had our Kids for Fishing, which they have, Akwesasne Mohawk Police has been doing for over 13 years now. They have a little draw. They take 40 Akwesasne children out. They go fishing for the day. They receive classes. They receive safety gear. They receive fishing equipment, a lunch, a breakfast, the whole deal. And the entire day is spent fishing, and they love it. The other thing is lacrosse. Everywhere from 5-year-olds up to senior lacrosse. And you can go into an arena and watch 7-year-old kids play, and the arena is full. That's how everybody loves lacrosse in Akwesasne. It's part of our identity.
Marjorie Ganyadunge Skitters is the editor of the Indian Time newspaper, based in Akwesasne. She spoke with David Sommerstein. There's more news all the time at ncpr.org. Music today by Caitlin Scholl of Lake Placid. I'm Lucy Grindon, North Country Public Radio.